Hello guys, so in today's video what I want to do is basically show you guys a little bit of Python programming. Now this video is very good to watch. Make sure obviously you watch it till the end of this video, but by the end of the video you'll be basically able to start programming in Python, and this is very good, especially if you want to become an ethical hacker or pen tester, or basically Python is great for everything. You can actually do so many things with Python that you won't believe. There's basically libraries for everything. You can make anything from ransomware, you can make anything from basically automating emails to basically anything. You want to make ransomware? Done. You want to make a virus? Done. What I've actually done a couple months back when I was learning Python, I've done basically what it is it takes a screenshot of your computer, it takes your IP address, it takes process of your machine, and what I was going to do is basically make a antivirus identifier and possibly disable the antivirus, right? So that's what I was doing, but I stopped programming because then I started to focus more on YouTube. But I will possibly maybe make it open source so you can guys take pieces of my code and probably update my GitHub once in a while, so you can guys go and take some stuff from my GitHub and just take the images and the scripts and edit it, right? So the first thing you need is Python. Now, Python used to be installed on Windows and, if I'm not wrong, Mac OS. Linux, 99% of the Linux distributions you are running have Python installed, right? Make sure you download the 13.12 because that's the stable release. Make sure you download the pre-release because that's not stable, and most likely you will not be able to. It might be a little glitchy, might some errors, and might not work properly, right? So once you have this, just install it and close it. Once you install it, what you need to do is download Windows. Windows. You need to, which is basically an editor of code, right? So Windows in this case, for Windows in this case, right? I already have installed, so I'm not going to download it. But you need to download for whatever you're having. As you can see, it gives you an example what Linux distribution it runs. So if you have Fedora, RPM, if you have Debian or Ubuntu run. This one, Kali Linux uses Debian, so make sure you use the left one. And if I'm not wrong, Parrot uses Debian as well. So that's for if you guys want to do some on these distributions. Okay, so once you install it, just close it and run Visual Studio Code. Now I have some code, some programs already written, so I'm just going to take you guys through this, and I'm going to explain some stuff so you guys can understand. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to run the code first because I just want to show you how it works. And then what we're going to do is I'll show you guys how to basically what this code does and how it works and stuff, right? So we're going to do is John Hammond, right? And as you can see what it does this, right? So I'm just going to take you through the code right now. Variable is something that we specify to later, for example, using a program. For example, maybe you want to specify age, number, something basically you want to pass along for then later to be used by the program, right? So for example, I'll explain. So variable is this, first name is a variable, equals input. So we're asking the user for an input, enter your first name, right? Surname, another variable, right? Something we have specified again, input, enter your first name, right? Also, as you can see, it says variable surname equals string. String is text. For example, your address would be string, right? There's also integer and single. Now, basically, string is basically anything that's the address. For example, is string, your number. For example, one number. For example, let's do this. I'll show you guys. If I can close this, because I don't actually need that. Thank you. Right, let's close the console a little bit. So for example, string would be, for example, hello, right? For example, integer would be 12 and single would be 12.5. And this is the basics of understanding of programming, right? Now, I'm not really a professional programmer, right? So the thing, when I was taught this, was 7 years ago, right? So that's when I was in education, I was learning programming. So these things have changed, but this is how I was taught, right? I'm pretty sure if it changed, then it changed massively, right? So this is string is hello, integer is 12, which is a whole number, and singles are 12.5, right? This is how I was taught in computing science programming. That was back to days of C# using Visual Studio. No, Visual Studio Code, Visual Basic. We used Visual Basic. Oh my god, I'm never using Visual Basic again. I hate that program. We had an outdated version. The one we used, if I'm not wrong, was 2008, and that was about 2017. So we're using about a decade old program, which was outdated. The programs broke by just reloading the program itself. I really had enough of Visual Basic. I'm never using Visual Basic again, right? So now I just wanted to show you guys, we can also specify another. So we can do is, for example, first name, because I deleted some piece of this code just for purposes of this video. Now this is a very basic code, right? But this is for you, it's not to basically have some complex programming. For you, this is to learn programming and then play around with this and change stuff, right? That's how we learn programming, by playing around. So let me go back to explain the code, right? Obviously, so we have two inputs, right? Enter your first name, enter your surname, nothing difficult. Now we have something called print. Print is basically outputs the text, right? So we have print first name, surname, print first name. As you can see, it has something. Now, what is this? This is basically makes a new line. This is very important when you basically want to make a text file and you want for example, a new line of text, which I'll show you another program which I have here, basically just ready to run. I programmed this ages ago, right? But I'll show you guys how it runs. It's a very cool program, I would say. Surname plus hello, right? So basically, as you can see, and I'll do another run. Actually, let me just, can I go run start debugging? So we're gonna put this thing as David Bumble, right? And as you can see, we have David Bumble, which is the first line, right? The second line, which splits this. Oh, sorry guys, I did a little mistake. Sorry guys. I forgot to do one thing, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do print name, right? Okay, right. Sorry, I did a mistake. Right, so we're gonna run again. I didn't notice. That's why I don't like talking and doing the two things at once, right? Because we're gonna David Goggins, for example, right? Right. So as you can see, we have David Goggins, which is the first line of code. Now we have the second line, which basically splits into three. David, which is the first name. It does a new line, Goggins, and it does a new line of a new line of hello, right? And the third line, which is basically we create a new variable, name equals first name plus surname, print equals name. So we created a new variable of that basically is consisting of first name, which is another variable, and surname, which is another variable, creates one variable, right? Now, it might be a little bit confusing at the start, but you should get hangs of it once the more you do of programming, right? And obviously we're printing the variable name, right? So I'll just take you guys through it again. Maybe I said variable too much, not gonna lie, but you know. So we have variable name, which is equaling to first name and surname, which creates one sort of a function, right? We can call a it's not a function, but we can call a function just to make things easier. And then we're outputting the function, right? So outputs the function name, right? And this is the basics of Python. This is very easy. This is nothing too complex, too hard. Obviously, if you don't understand the first time, it's absolutely fine. Now, something I want to show you next is another code I have written. Now, this is more specialized for cybersecurity, and so this is a program. As you can see, we got a little error, which I'll show you how to solve as well. It's very easy to solve. Now we might get another error as well because I don't have a folder DB, and I'll see. I want to see if it'll create the folder or no. I don't think so. Right. So what we're gonna do is start debugging, and we're just gonna run. Now, as you can see, we got an error. No module named requests. What does this mean? This means we don't have a library of requests installed. How do we install libraries? Well, I got you covered now. Can I please stop this? Thank you. Okay. What you're gonna do is press left shift or Windows key. You're gonna do CMD right? And what we're going to do is called something called pip install requests, right? Now we could have done this basically way easier. Now you may get an antivirus notification. Don't worry, your AV should basically just scan it and it should say, okay, it's fine, it was a mistake, right? So once you run this, you have the requests installed. Now all you do is just refresh the virtual machine. Sorry, oh, thank you. Go away. Just refresh. You can close this. Refresh the program. Let's start a new open file, desktop, test2. Now, as you can see, it got rid of the issue, right? There's no more issue. Now, if I run this again, I hopefully it'll run. Possibly no. Yep, I did not run, right? The problem is because I don't have a folder created. So what we need to do is go db. Now, so what we're gonna do now, I need to open again, well done. Right, so what we're gonna do now is run this. Right, start debugging. And what it should do is it should save our IP address to, as you can see, we'll go no error, right? Which is a good sign usually. 99% of the time is a good sign. And as you can see, we have two files. Oh, sorry, we have two text files. So we have one, which is IP grab, which displays our IP address, right? And as you can see, because I did specific formatting, it gave basically a line, a hashtag, which basically splits the IP address, and a new line, right? And a process, and as you can see, it gives us all the processes of our machine. So this is all I'm running. So cmd, python, PowerShell. I don't have a firewall. I do have Windows Defender, which is, if I'm not wrong, it should be somewhere here. Oh, I can't see it. All right, that doesn't matter, right? It's running. So as you can see, this is what it does, right? Now this code will be available to you guys on GitHub, right? I'm gonna give you this code, so you can guys go about and have fun with it. It is very easy. I've wrote this code, if I'm not wrong, months. It was maybe March, maybe earlier. Maybe it was 2022 when I wrote this code. So this code is very old, but it still works, right? It was just me playing around. I usually like to play around, so yeah. So feel free to use this code. Now I'm gonna make another tutorial, possibly in a couple of days. I just need to think of something to actually show you guys, so something that you guys might find useful. Right, so hope you guys enjoyed. If you can leave a like, subscribe, comment, check out my Twitter, check out my Udemy courses, which are actually very helpful if you want to get started in cybersecurity quickly. Make sure you check that out, and see you later, guys. Thank you for watching.